At the beginning of the year, I went on my first silent retreat to a Jesuit monastery in Wales called St Bino's. I had been really wrestling with some quite intense feelings of inadequacy and a bit of fear about the season I was stepping into, and was hoping this time would help me recenter. During the retreat, I met with a spiritual guide each morning who listened to me and then suggested some spiritual exercises for me to use during the day. Amongst other things, I was encouraged to use the Ignatian practice of Examen, a way of prayerfully reviewing your day or other period of time, paying attention to where God was present and how God may be directing you. The first thing that struck me was the opening words: "Become still, conscious of the loving care with which God looks upon you." I don't know how many times I have been told or read that God loves me, but I was surprised by this invitation to just rest in God's care. My guide had also invited me to reflect on John 15, and the words came back to me now. "Make your home in me, as I have made my home in you. Remain in my love." In that moment, it dawned on me in a new way that I am loved by the Creator and Sustainer of the universe. And not only am I invited to make my home in that love, that God and that love resides within me. If this was true, it turned everything I'd been feeling upside down. I was not small and lacking in myself and in my circumstances. I had access to everything I needed deep within myself. With God, I am enough, and I have enough. The second stage of the Examen, flowing from this understanding of God's love for us, was to express thanks. This is based on the core Ignatian belief that all of life is a gift and that we are to approach life and prayer from a posture of gratitude. This is not to trivialize difficulty or suffering, or to say that all things or circumstances are what we would choose, but that there is an opportunity to receive or learn something, to experience God somehow in all things, and that this practice changes our experience of those events. This furthered my shift in perspective. As I looked back over the previous days and season, they appeared so differently when I turned my focus from all the ways in which I felt I had failed or fallen short, been wronged or missed out, to the ways in which they had brought life, and how differently I might have approached things at the time if I had started from this new understanding. Of course, internalizing and living out of these truths is a daily choice, and not one I always manage. But I continue to find the Examen a really helpful practice for bringing me back to these truths. And I invite you to join me today if you'd like to. There are lots of slightly different versions of the stages of the Examen, and what follows is a combination of some of those that I've read. 1. Become still, conscious of the loving care with which God looks upon you. 2. Give thanks for the day or season you are reflecting on as a gift from God. 3. Recall the day or season in more detail, allowing the Spirit to guide you to the moments that were life-giving and also the moments that were life-draining. 4. Ponder with God what your response to these reflections might be. 5. Look forwards to the coming day, aware of God's desire to stay with you.